Hey, eighth graders, and welcome back. We're going to be finishing up our lesson on being a leader and an ally this week. I hope you're having a great week. So, just to review, last week we talked about how, as eighth graders, you have the opportunity to decide to be positive leaders in your school and to use your power to make a difference by how you act every day. Being a leader means empowering others by how you act every day. Eighth grade is an important opportunity to decide to be a positive leader. Empathy can be a guide to acting as a positive leader. So, offering someone support is another way to show empathy. Let's explore how you can support or help someone in a way that makes a difference. So, I'm going to show you an activity that you can do with someone at home to kind of test out this idea. So we're going to practice offering support in a puzzle challenge with your partner or someone at home, maybe a sibling or a family member or anyone that's in your home. So we're going to take a piece of paper, and that's the only thing you're going to need for this challenge. And you're going to decide who is going to be the helper first. So the helper is going to take the paper and the other person is going to close their eyes. Then the helper is going to tear or cut the paper to make a couple of different shapes like a puzzle. So you're going to cut. So I have 3 pieces and I'm the helper. So then my pieces fit together like this, and those are my puzzle pieces. So the helper is going to pass the puzzle pieces on to their partner. That partner is going to keep their eyes closed, and they are going to have to put the puzzle together with their eyes closed. So here is where empathy and being an ally and a partner and supportive is going to come in, because the helper is going to give spoken, so that means you're using your words, guidance or support so that the other student can put the puzzle together. The helper is not allowed to touch the puzzle. So you're going to have to use your words and give instructions and be supportive when you're describing how to put the puzzle pieces together, because remember, your partner has their eyes closed and they need you to support them in how to put the puzzle together, because otherwise, how are they going to know what to do because their eyes are closed? So when you have finished that activity, you can swap, and then you can see what it's like, the helper to be the puzzle doer and then the puzzle doer to be the helper. So I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. If you want to do that activity, you can pause the video, and then we have a couple of discussion questions to get into. So, and if you don't have anyone at home to do this activity with, you can just think about it. And then maybe when someone gets home that can do it with you, you can do it. So how do you think the partner gives support? What do you think are the best ways to give support? Is it helpful if your partner shouts at you and yells at you and says, "What are you doing? You're not putting the puzzle together right." Is that going to help you to put the puzzle together? Probably not. How about being respectful and offering encouragement? That seems like something that would be helpful, because if you're up on a tough task, it's always more helpful to have someone cheering you on than have someone getting annoyed at you that you're not doing it well. So which of the things that your partner did while you were putting the puzzle together made it easier? How about which things made it harder? Maybe that's yelling at them. And what do you think your partner could do differently next time, or in a different situation where they were helping you to solve a challenge? So there is a name of the role of supporting someone. Even if you don't know someone well, when you offer your support, you are being an ally to that person. So in Stepping Ahead, we define an ally as someone who consciously decides to support another person because it is the right thing to do. You do not have to be friends with someone to be their ally. How do you think being an ally is connected to empathy? So do you remember what empathy is? Basically putting yourself in someone else's shoes and then making decisions based on that. So when you decide to be an ally, you are thinking about someone else's situation and you're thinking about how they're feeling. So do you have to be friends with someone to offer them support as an ally? No. Imagine if you're maybe at the grocery store and someone's pushing their cart and something falls off their cart. Maybe you don't even know who that person is. Is it still a helpful, supportive thing to do to maybe pick up the thing and hand it to them and say, hey, this fell off your cart? Yeah, so you can do kind things and be supportive even to people that you don't know. What are some benefits that you can think of being an ally? Maybe benefits for your school, your friends, or yourself. Do you think that school is a better place when everyone is being kind and supportive and it makes an environment where people feel like they can be themselves and that they have friends that support them? Totally, for sure. And when you're an ally, you can feel good about yourself because you know that you're doing the right thing and you're being a good person and you're helping others. You can also build and strengthen friendships by being an ally because everyone wants to be friends with people who support them and help them. So it's a great way to make friends and to make the friendships that you have stronger. So in the first set of interviews that we watched last week, we heard students talk about how older students reached out to them in small, everyday ways. These older students were being allies to younger students. So let's take some notes for your class discussion that you're going to have on this and think about what are some situations when a person might need an ally? And what are some situations when younger students might need an ally? So let's think back. You remember how last week we talked about being a sixth grader? And one of the examples we talked about was maybe if a sixth grader is lost and they don't know where their classes are. Could that be a good example? Maybe you don't even know who the student is, but you can put yourself in their shoes and think, hey, if I was lost, what would I want someone to do for me? And you can offer to show them where their class is. How about what are some situations where students your own age, so maybe some other eighth graders might need an ally? Maybe if you have a friend or someone in your class who looks like they're getting kind of frustrated by doing their homework, maybe that would be an ally situation where you could step in and say, hey, do you want some help with your homework? So come up with a bunch of your own reasons, maybe situations where people have been an ally to you in the past, or situations where you have been an ally to other people in the past. Because pretty much every day, I'm sure we can all come up with a situation where someone would need an ally or someone to support them and be on their side. So sometimes you can tell that people need an ally because they look sad or upset. Those are kind of easier ways to tell, right? But sometimes it's harder to tell. Some people don't outwardly show that they're upset or they don't feel comfortable asking for help. Have you ever been in that situation? Sometimes I have. If maybe I'm embarrassed that I'm having a hard time doing my homework and I don't want to show that I'm not doing well, then maybe I wouldn't be able to give off clues that I needed help. So how can you tell in this kind of situation that somebody might need an ally? So knowing a difficult situation can alert you to the fact that someone might need support. So maybe you're not looking at the person, but you're looking at the whole situation. So maybe if there's a stressful test coming up, then you can think, hey, maybe I should pay attention and other people in my class might need some support with studying. You can also ask questions. It never hurts to ask someone if they want help because what's the worst they can do is say, no, I'm fine. Thank you. I don't need help. And then at least you ask and at least they know that you're a supportive, caring person. And if they need help in the future, they know that they can go to you. So after we did the puzzle challenge, we listed ways that you can offer support. When you know that someone needs an ally, you can offer support by having empathy active listening, using clear communication, being respectful, and being encouraging. So those are all some different steps that you can use to be an ally in different situations. And if you have any others, those are definitely going to be good ones to write down and share in your class discussion. So how might this type of support help the people who need you as an ally? Well, think about that for a second. I have my own example because when someone listens and offers encouragement, it can help them feel that things will be okay. So maybe if you're going through something tough at home and you have a friend who says, hey, I'm here for you and I want to listen to, to you and offer you support, then that person feels like, hey, you know what? Things will be okay. And I have a friend that really cares about me. And that's really important. And that's what we as counselors do a lot. So in this lesson, we explored how you, as the oldest students in the school, can empower younger students. You can do this by the way you choose to act and the attitude you have towards school and towards others. In this way, you can become positive leaders in our school. Because remember, sixth graders, even seventh graders, and even other eighth graders look up to you. And think of this example. If you're doing your homework and if you're being a calm participator in class and you raise your hand when you want to talk and you're respectful to your teachers and other students, then younger students who are looking up to you say, hey, I guess that's what it's like to be in middle school. And then they follow your example because you're a role model. And that helps to make school a better place in general because then everyone wants to be a good role model and positive and they make positive choices. So, a couple of takeaways for the lesson. Being a leader means empowering others by how you act. You can decide to be a positive leader and you can make those choices every single day. Even small things that you think might not really matter can have a big impact on people if they're watching you as a role model. Empathy can guide you, and you want to make sure you put yourself in other people's shoes and make decisions that you think you would want if you were in that situation. And you can decide to be an ally. So maybe in the next couple of days, you can think of an example to share with your class about how you were an ally to someone. So you have to make a choice to say, hey, you know what? I want to be an ally to someone this week. And maybe if your mom is carrying in the groceries, you can help her carry those in without her asking. That's kind of a supportive thing to do. Or in virtual class, if you see someone is maybe having a tough time understanding Google Classroom, you can offer to help, show them the ropes. All righty, eighth graders, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a great week.